So you're ready to dive into how AI could really change things up for online communities.
Always ready to explore this stuff. It's moving so fast.
We're checking out an article called ChatGPT moderando y fortaleciendo comunidades online auténticas,
Catchy title.
right, by Steves Jr. Just came out on February 17th, 2025. And, it's not just about ChatGPT being like a digital bouncer, just kicking people out.
Right. I've seen some takes on that, and it always feels a little too simplistic.
Exactly. This article is talking about how AI can actually help to build stronger, more genuine online spaces.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Like, imagine AI that can actually get the vibe of a community, their unique tone,
Yeah.
and then offer solutions just for them, even gamification to keep things interesting.
Okay, now that's interesting. The article talks about that.
It does. It dives into how ChatGPT could go beyond just like enforcing the rules.
So less about policing and more about shaping the environment.
Exactly. Almost like a gardener, cultivating a healthy ecosystem.
I like that analogy. It's about fostering positive interaction, not just shutting things down.
Right. It gives this example like ChatGPT suggesting a better way to say something
That was interesting.
before a disagreement blows up into a huge fight. So could this actually reduce all that toxicity we see online?
It's possible. I mean, if you think about it, so many online arguments happen because people misinterpret tone or intent.
Yeah.
So an AI that could smooth things over, de-escalate,
Hmm.
that could be huge. But then there's the flip side. Would it stifle creative expression or make conversations too bland?
Oh, yeah. That's a really good point. Over-moderation. I hadn't thought about that. The article also talks about intelligentsia, artificial humanizada.
Humanized artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Now that's a concept.
Yeah. So what exactly does that mean when we're talking about moderating online spaces?
It means AI that can adapt.
Yeah.
Like each community has its own culture, its own way of talking.
Right.
A community of, let's say, gamers is totally different from a group of professional chefs. AI has to recognize and respond to that. It can't be a one-size-fits-all thing.
So it's like AI needs to develop cultural intelligence almost.
Exactly. And the article actually gives us an example prompt. Hang on, let me see. Desenvolva mensajes educativas para orientar usuarios sobre discursos inadecuados sin parecer punitivo.
Okay, break that down for me.
Basically, it's asking the AI to teach people how to behave, but in a way that doesn't feel like punishment.
Gotcha. So guiding people instead of just shutting them down.
Precisely. Encouraging positive interactions, building a better online environment.
Makes sense. Okay, so then the article shifts gears a bit and says ChatGPT can also keep communities active and thriving.
Okay, tell me more about that. What does the article suggest?
Well, it talks about how ChatGPT could handle those routine tasks that community managers are always juggling.
Yeah, I could see that. Suggesting discussion topics, personalizing recommendations, welcoming new members.
Exactly. All stuff that ChatGPT could potentially automate.
Freeing up the human moderators to focus on those trickier issues. Interesting. But could it really lead to more thriving communities? Or is there a risk of things feeling too artificial if it's all driven by AI?
That's a great question, and that's actually what I wanted to ask you about next, because the article seems to suggest that AI could actually foster a sense of belonging in online communities.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical of that too. How can AI create that kind of real human connection?
I know, right? It sounds a little counterintuitive.
It does.
But the article suggests that ChatGPT could, create recognition programs for active members or suggest collaborative challenges.
I see. So using AI to tap into those human needs for recognition and connection.
Exactly. Leveraging it to amplify those positive feelings that make people want to be part of a community in the first place.
Huh. That's a much different perspective than I initially had. It makes you rethink things.
It really does. It's making me see the potential of AI in a whole new light. This article has me thinking differently about AI in online spaces. It's not just about being a rule enforcer, but about making online spaces vibrant and engaging.
It is. The article highlights how AI, like ChatGPT, could be a powerful tool for finding that balance.
Right. Which brings us to a point the article brings up. Balancing freedom of expression with safe spaces. It feels like something every online community struggles with.
Absolutely. And it's not easy. Finding that balance is key for healthy discussion online. The article suggests that ChatGPT could be used to rephrase problematic messages or even mediate conflicts.
So instead of just banning users,
Yeah.
it's like AI could be a diplomat, helping people communicate better and find common ground.
I like that.
But wouldn't that take a really deep understanding of language? And
Oh,
context?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where that idea of intelligentsia artificial humanizada comes in
Okay.
again.
Right.
It can't just understand the words, but the tone, the intent, the cultural context.
Like that example from the article about guiding users on appropriate behavior without being like punishing.
Right.
Could that kind of approach help in those tricky situations?
Totally. Imagine an AI that could gently point out when someone's language is getting offensive and suggest different ways to phrase things. It
Hmm.
wouldn't be about censorship, but about helping people have more respectful and constructive dialogue.
That's a good distinction. It makes me think, though, what role do we want AI to play in online discussions? It's a complicated question.
It is. On the one hand, we want online spaces where everyone feels safe and respected,
Right.
but we don't want to stifle free speech or create this like overly sanitized environment.
Huh?
Finding that balance is going to be crucial as AI becomes more integrated into online communities.
This article has given us a lot to think about, for sure. It's full of these thought-provoking ideas about the future of online communities.
I agree. It makes us think beyond just automating tasks and look at how AI can improve our online experiences in meaningful ways.
Let's do a quick recap. What stood out to you from this article?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is the potential for AI like ChatGPT to really change how online communities work. It's not just about taking over moderation, it's about making those spaces more positive, more engaging, more authentic.
It seems like the article is pushing for an approach to AI that respects how each community operates, their unique culture and communication style.
That's it. It's about AI adapting to us, not us adapting to it.
And finding that balance between letting people express themselves freely and making sure everyone feels safe and welcome.
Exactly. It's been great unpacking all this with you.
Likewise,
Yeah.
you've really helped me understand the nuances of this topic. And I have one final question for you. The author talks about ChatGPT adapting to the tone of different communities. What are some online groups you're part of that have very distinct tones or ways of communicating? I'm curious how AI would have to adjust in those different settings.
That's a good question. I'm in this online group for bird watchers,
Mm-hmm.
and the tone there is so different from another group I'm in that's for talking about philosophy.
Oh, interesting.
Like the bird watching one is all about sharing, observations and pictures.
Yeah.
It's super casual and friendly.
Yeah.
But the philosophy group, those discussions are way more formal.
Makes sense.
AI would definitely need to approach those two communities in completely different ways, with moderating and engagement.
It's such a good example of how AI needs to understand those social dynamics if it's going to work in online communities. This deep dive has been so interesting. I mean, it's shown me all the potential, but it also makes it clear there are some big challenges and ethical things we need to figure out.
For sure. And we need to be having these conversations now so that AI is developed and used in a way that's good for everyone.
Right.
We have to think about potential biases and make sure how AI systems are being used is transparent.
Right.
And we always have to put human well-being first.
It sounds like the future of online communities isn't just about the tech itself. It's about how we use that tech to connect with each other in better and more responsible ways.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. This deep dive into a Steve's Jr.'s article has been a great exploration of all these complex and evolving issues.
It really has. And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has made you curious about AI in online communities.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a topic that's going to keep changing, so keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay engaged in the conversation. Who knows what incredible things are coming